These people are complaining that they're at St George's Day gathering and there's just loads and loads and loads and loads of police there, right? And it's really apparently intimidating and harassing. What happens when you get a load of people turning up somewhere to have a load of fun? Then you get a load of police turning up there, right? And all the police do is loiter around like at Stonehenge and take photos. I mean, we're paying the police, right, now to turn up and just loiter around when people are having fun in St George's Day. They're dossing around. It's kind of like we're paying the police to turn up and go to a festival and be there and hang around. It's like we're paying them to just go to the festival. And then now they're taking photos. Look, they're taking their own photographs at the festivals. It's ridiculous. And now who's filming who? Like everyone's going and filming everything. Well, the police have to turn up and then film everything. We said, I'm not filming you. No, you're not filming me. No, I'm filming you in case there's any trouble. No, the police are filming us in case there's any trouble. Well, but the thing is, this police presence is actually intimidating. But they go, oh no, there's a large group of people, that's intimidating. No, that's what people do, right? They go to a celebration, right? Now you're getting a police. The police are being paid to go and effectively hang around and take photos. And everyone's got a phone, yet then we're buying phones for the police to have their own phones. And then the police have got their own personal phones, and then they've got the police phones. I don't know what Suella Braverman, Rishi Sunak, and Priti Patel, and I mean, why pick on them? I mean, it's got to be all of them. Johnson, Met Police Chief. There's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with knowing what justice is and what it's supposed to be, judgment of the peers, getting things into a courtroom, because there was no one around in those days, because, there weren't any recording equipment. Now everyone knows everything already. They just want to get you in a courtroom, get you through there, rough you up, ask you some questions, throw you in a courtroom with a judge and get his hammer slammed down, and they don't even have a jury in there. Some random incident out in the countryside, in the woods, this is our river, and anyone who wishes to cross must pay a fine. It's rather much ado about nothing, but it's not much ado about nothing, because now picking your nose is offensive to some people, or speaking in your own house. There is a law still in force. That Magna Carta law and the rest of their charters are still in force, and it says that they will preserve the customs, the ancient customs and rights. They even took that out of the jury oath, right? And now, apparently, a jury can't research any law. They can only hear what the barrister decides to bring up, or the prosecutor, right? But yet the jury were required to actually know all the basic fundamental laws and rights, okay? Like we the people have to know we the people, they wrote it, it's subscribed to we the people, so they have a legal right to interpret their constitution, and they all know it, What's actually happening is that the surplus. The police force now is like a gang or a cult, and they got their own newspaper, press office. They've got their own kind of like accident cult. No one wants an accident. An accident's an accident. An accident's never intended, right? But they've got their own cult now. Ooh, be careful, be scared, be worried, yeah? When actually, on the petitions in South Wales, hardly anyone signed, to oppose those speed limits. But even then, the councillors get these cults going out, or obsessed with death, obsessed with accidents and injuries. The thing is that if something happens bad, like an accident, anyone's going to be upset, right? But I've had umpteen pets die, which has been upsetting. I've had relatives die. I've been through upsetting traumatic incidents. Loads of people have. It is a bit of a revenge thing, and then they put their upset onto everyone else. Everyone else has to suffer because of it, when no one intended to, do anything wrong in the first place. And it gets obsessive. Looking at the figures now, if you look at the percentage of who's turning up to vote, hardly anyone, right? Now, people aren't turning up to vote, which means they don't have an opinion. And what you realise is that these political parties, and now the minority, they are the extremists. They are extremely pushing a stance. In fact, they're extremist in their technology. They're extremist in their development, obsessive in technology development to an obsessive, compulsive degree, whereas their life depends on it, as they're grasping for more control and power. I think these people are a minority, and they're an obsessive, compulsive minority, and a lot of it is like a very, very strange cult. Most people are trying to get on with their lives, and then the other people are the ones who oppose them. So you've got these two minorities, one for one and one for the other, and no one else will really back any of the others up hardly. And more people are dropping out now and not bothering with it because they've realised how ridiculous it is. These police, and we shouldn't even need police. We had hue and cry. There's so many people standing around, right? There's people standing around everywhere. It's as if there's no people, as if you're alone in the woods, or out in the desert or somewhere, There are people stood around everywhere. It's almost like these people are useless. They can't do anything. When you were little, and there used to be women coming over, "Oh, you all right? What's happened? Where's your mummy?" All this. You're not allowed to touch anyone anymore. In the statute law, they've got a word, and it's called aliens, and they use it for foreign persons, right? Aliens. And I've realised a lot of things have happened. They've taken that word and they've rehashed it. They've completely dressed it up and released it to mean extraterrestrial aliens from, space. Well, the word in the dictionary, alien, means foreign of this place, right? And in fact, the proper meaning of the word in law, the legal term, is people not of your country or nation, right? And when you're getting your customs, and in law it says they've got to be upheld and withheld, right? And it refers to which ones, and they're not being. And it's actually a law to repeal certain statutes, certain protective laws and statutes. I think we should arrest some of these people. And then you've got the Act of Settlement. I mean, the problem is, I think that it is extremism. I actually believe that it is extremism. And most of the people who turn up to vote, clearly, they don't hate anyone. If they hated anyone that much, I'd say this to the SNP and to that Youssef guy who's leading them, and to Rishi Sunak, right? If people hated other races that much, they'd turn up, go to the ballot box and vote for BNP. So there is no racist problem, yet they're claiming there is, and we'll have to make more laws. Oh, it's such a problem, now we're having to make loads of more laws to enforce it. No, if it was a problem, and if people were that bothered about it, they'd be turning up in the ballot box, queuing up for Nigel Farage or BNP or whatever, and actually voting against it, and they'd actually